very good evening, all history enthusiasts. We are back with the last lecture of the lecture series on occasion of the Gita Jayanti. Gita through history, a historical, cultural, and philosophical perspective. Today we have with us Ashish Rajpoot, intern at the Directorate of Archaeology and Directorate of Museum, Government of Bihar. He is going to speak on a very interesting topic, the iconography of Bhagavad Gita, the visual theology. So, on behalf of the history enthusiasts and all our core committee members, I welcome you to our online platform, Ashish. Thank you for joining us today. I also welcome our honorary president, Shri Nandan Shastri sir, and founder vice president of the history enthusiasts, Ms. Nidhi Katti. I welcome all our core committee members, advisory members, and all the audience members who are joining us through this live lecture. Now, I would like to request Ms. Nidhi Katti to introduce our today's resource person.
Thank you so much, Manali, and I also welcome our founder president, Ms. Manali Mummaya, too, for this session. I take this opportunity to introduce our today's resource person, Ashish Rajpoot. He is MA in archaeology. He has completed his Masters in Humanities from University of Lucknow in AIH and Archaeology, Anthropology. These were the subjects which he undertook for graduation, and for post graduation, archaeology. In archaeology, he did his post graduation. He has also done a certificate course on ecology, ecosystems, dynamics, and conservation. Diploma in legal studies and digital forensics. And he has working experience at Directorate of Archaeology and Directorate of Museum, Bihar government, and as Art, Culture and Youth Department, Government of Bihar state. He has worked there. And the areas in which he worked were museum administration and operation, cultural heritage management, public archaeology and outreach, education and public program, conservation and preservation, documentation and recording. These were the areas in which he worked. He has published research work entitled as Kushana coinage, which is approved by World Library Organization for their worldwide web collection. And it is really a very happy moment for us to have him on the platform of the history enthusiasts. We actually want more such young researchers to be part of the history enthusiasts. And thank you so much, Ashish ji, for accepting our invitation. Now I request Ashish Rajpoot ji to start over his lecture. Over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. So my topic is iconography of Bhagavad Gita, the visual theology. So here we can go with the first slide, in which the info about the iconography of Bhagavad Gita has been written. The iconography of Bhagavad Gita finds its roots in ancient Indian religious and philosophical traditions. It began with visual depictions inspired by the Mahabharata, particularly the Kurukshetra battlefield scene, where Lord Krishna imparts spiritual wisdom to Arjun. Early representation in art emerged during the Gupta period, showcasing Krishna as the charioteer. These depictions combine symbolic elements like the conch, Sudarshan Chakra, and divine aura with themes of dharma, devotion, and self-realization. So this is the picture. We all know about this or have seen in our life. So here the sloka is written, Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavat bharata abhyuthanam dharmasya tadatmanam srajamyam. This is the slok from chapter 4 and verse slok is 7 and 8 is paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya chaduskritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So I am picking up a thought and a comment from online research that someone has written that the general behind wrong interpretation are as follows. He said that jo, the meaning of this sloka is we know that whenever evil flourishes in the world, God takes human form to destroy the evil people. This happen in every yuga. The first meaning, the first sloka's meaning, and the second one, the more stupid one. Whenever there is rise in evil, Bharat, that is India. God take avatar to eliminate evil from India. This happens in every yuga. So this is controversial. That is it India only, or the world is between in or in between India. So we can say, or the Bhagavad Gita is for only for India. It is not that. So the correct interpretation about it is yada yada hi, meaning whenever. Dharmasya glanibhavat bharata. So dharma is reduce of false or lesson declines. And in this slok, Bharat means the Krishna is naming Arjuna and saying that Krishna is calling the name of Arjun here because he is talking to Arjun only. Abhyuthanam adharmasya. When evil arises in your mind, Krishna is saying that when evil arises in your mind, tadatmanam srajamyaham. I take birth in your soul. Soul means Atma. Generally, soul has more than one meaning, so we will leave it. Tadatmanam srajamyaham. At every step, even if there is a small tendency of evil arises in you, I also arise in your mind. This can subject to experimentation. You can try to do something evil. You will see before the moment you commit if this avatar of Krishna taking birth in your mind, telling you don't do it, it is wrong. Your sense of right and wrong activates, and if you ignore it and continue to do it anyway and suffer the consequences of your action, he will say, I told you so. So Krishna is saying that to Arjun, not the Bharat. Paritranaya sadhuna. So the meaning of paritranaya sadhuna, for the protection of the people with good idol, good behaviors. This avatar happens in your soul, not in physical like in this earth or in Bharat. For the protection of people with good idol, good behaviors, this avatar happens in your soul for the upliftment or protection of the goodness in you. Means Krishna is talking about the soul or inner mind in this slokas. Vinachaya chaduskritam, for the total annihilation of evil tendencies, potentials, desires, etc. Duskritam doesn't mean evil people, it means evil deeds only, evil thoughts and evil deeds in society. So for the destruction of evil deeds in you, Krishna is saying to the Arjun that everything will happen in your mind and your atma. Then after धर्म संस्थापनाथाय संभवामी युगे युगे. This process is done instantly at every moment of every human life, everywhere to establish the dharma in heart of humans. So we can assume that, or we can feel that when we do something right or wrong, can feel inside our heart that it is wrong or right. Krishna is saying to the Arjun that thing only in that these two slokas. I have put at these slokas because of the meaning of visual theology started behind from these two slokas. And this what I have read, it is told by Swami Sandeep Chaitanya from he is a Malayalam researcher, I guess. I have some statements also about this subject of scholars, which here I am just reading out for the better understanding of iconography of Bhagavad Gita. Manuscripts experts also seem to experience some difficulty in trying to explain why Hindu religious manuscripts were illustrated only relatively late in comparison with the much earlier and profuse illustration found in Buddhism and Jain manuscripts. Jeremy Losty, a Sanskrit manuscript expert from British Library in London, has commented at length on the culture history of the manuscript and book tradition in India and the relative importance of illustration. He writes, so I'm reading the thoughts of his, which maybe I guess one or two para. Indian tradition has always accorded higher status to the spoken than the written word. The Hindus saw no urgent need to write down their sacred books of divine revelation until comparatively late, and hence the art of calligraphy, illumination, and book illustration were not widely practiced by them before about the 14th century. But adherent of the other great Indian religious system, the Buddhists and Jainas needed to reconcile the different remembered version of the words of their human founders. And hence the first century produced a complex canonical text. A traditional records that the Buddhist canon was engraved on sheet of gold, and it is Buddhist text which comprise the earliest surviving Indian manuscript with noteworthy calligraphy from about 5th century AD. Meanwhile, Buddhist texts are the much older than the Hinduism or Brahmanical text. However, the art of illumination and illustration of manuscript does not seem to have been practiced before about AD on 1000 and appear to have developed in the Buddhist monasteries of eastern India under the Pal dynasty to add magical protection to manuscript of the important Buddhist text, the perfection of wisdom. The coming of Islam to India introduces the initial alien book traditions of the Muslim peoples, and especially of the Iranians. The format was the codex, the swing and bound volume of vertical leaves, and the material was paper. Little is known of the earliest period of Muslim manuscript production in India. No surviving illustrated manuscript of a Muslim text is earlier than the 15th century, and these generally display to varying degrees dependence on the different Iranian centers of book production, particularly that of Siraj. So that is all Losti has said about the iconography of the Bhagavad Gita, or not about the Bhagavad Gita, but the text and the visual theology and the iconographic features which has been devoted and made by different artists in the mean of time. After that, Losti writes, Rajput manuscripts were usually large-scale pothis of the Hindu sculptures, and other Indian classics, with the text on one side of a folio. Uh, I wanna show you just that what he's talking about. He's talking about this. This is the folio of the Mughal period, but he is now talking about the Rajput period folio. Picture on the other. Indian artists had never been happy with the Iranian concept of integration of text and illustrations on the single page, forming an harmonious whole, but much preferred their separation on different pages. Here in Rajpoot studios, they were able to do this, achieving by the end of 18th century volumes, which are rather picture books with a minimum of text than illustrated manuscript. The codex format was adopted for smaller works, with the text usually written in a separate panel at the top of the painting. So I'm leaving here the losty and going on the our slides. So this is what over centuries temple sculpture, manuscripts, and painting like those from Mughal and Rajput eras enriched the iconography, integrated regional artistic style and culture interpretations. That's how we can see here birth celebration of Lord Krishna in Mughal painting. Everything is like in Mughaliya style with the architecture and there is the musicians having Sehanai and other things. Everything is like Mughal celebration. Like the turban of the men's are also from Mughal period. So it is a depiction of the thought that the painting have having that the painter or the artist have a thought that he celebrates the period, not the thoughts. So what Lordsky had said that it is developed form, not the true form of Bhagavad Gita. After that, we can see this picture from National Museum, New Delhi. Lord Krishna lifting Mount
हाँ बस
Govardhan,
मजामा हाँ बोलो
1800 AD. And after that, this image from Madhubani art. This is from Rajputana, Raj Savai Jaipur. This is miniature painting. After that, this is from the Mughal period where the Bhagavad Gita has been written and depicted in miniature artistic form. That right hand side, the picture of the scene, and there is a sloka. So the visual theology of Bhagavad Gita refers to the symbolic and artistic representation of its spiritual and philosophical essence. It focuses on capturing its central theme, dharma, bhakti, gyan, and moksha through various visual mediums. So I'm putting here key aspects with the pictures. So I will show after the definition, Krishna as the divine guide. Depicted as the charioteer of Arjun, symbolizes God leading the soul, Arjun, through the complexities of life. Now, so in this picture, Krishna as the divine guide of Arjun and showing him or telling him the first chapter or first verse in which he was confused. Chariot and horses. The chariot represent the human body, and five horses symbolizes the senses, which must be controlled by the intellect. So here in this image, we can see that the five horses: sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. These are the five senses. And again, charioteer, which is Krishna, is like intellect, and the reins, which is mind, and chariot is like a body, and passenger was the soul. Here is Arjun depicted. Then, after Kurukshetra battlefield, symbolizes the internal moral and ethical struggles of life. So, this is the moral and ethical struggle of life where Arjun is stopping Krishna to fought with Acharya Drona, I guess, and sacred iconography. Krishna is often portrayed with divine symbols like Sudarshan Chakra, peacock, feather, and the radiant halo, reflecting his cosmic nature. In this picture, everything with the Krishna, his chakras and conch shell, then his flute, and this is the last point: celestial revelations, the Vishwarup, universal form of Sri Krishna or Lord Vishnu, we can say. Depiction emphasizes Krishna's transcendence, showing the unity of all creation with him. So this is the picture of Lord Krishna. When Lord Krishna reveals his cosmic manifestation not once but thrice. In first first occasion, it was to Yashoda Mai when she doubtfully asked him to open his mouth to see if he has swallowed clay. She was shocked to see the whole universe is the in the small mouth of Bal Krishna. The second time, when he went to Hastinapur as ambassador to Pandavas, in an effort to prevent war, Duryodhan and his band tried to tie him, and he grew so big that his celestial form was visible. And finally, in the war, as a part of the sermon of Gita, Krishna revealed his universal form to Arjun as he pleaded him. Arjun said to Krishna, "People say that you are God, but you are a friend to me. I wish to know you really are and see your true form. So please bless me with your totality." After asked by Arjuna, Krishna provided Arjun the Divya Chakshu, divine eyes, to see the Vishwaru, universal form, as the physical eye could not comprehend it. What exactly did Arjun see? The portrayal of the enormous form is impossible. We can only see and imagine the calendar version of Krishna's cosmic with numerous heads, hands. It is all that, or was it like a satellite map of the world as projected by Google Maps? No. Arjun saw the breathtaking universal form coupled with his numerous faces, numerous faces with its innumerable eyes and limbs and fearsome jaw. Arjun himself and entire creation were engulfed and frozen with wonder. He saw Krishna soaring high, going beyond the realm of a few thousand galaxies, glowing with color, with open mouth and wide open fiery eyes. He was terrified to some extent. After Arjun cries out to the Lord that his courage and peace of mind was failing. At that time, viewing that colossal form, Arjun begged to Lord to be merciful upon him and to be a bit more considerate as he saw all the sons of Dhritarashtra, Bhishma, Drona, Kripa and Karna were all rushing into the Lord's mouth with the horrendous tusks, appalling to watch. Some of them were even mangled within the Pharisees' jaw with their head getting crushed, just as moth fly hasty toward the burning flame, only to be reduced to ash, so were those men rushing into his mouth, inviting their own destruction, telling the reality that everything has to merge in him gracefully and forcefully depends on the individual. Was there anything Arjun could have missed? Vishwarup is in is the reality of realities. There is nothing in it that could be illusion or untrue. So Krishna is truly aparmit, apurva, atirit, anupam, aditiya, asamanya, and atul. So I am concluding here. Concluding here my talk on the topic iconography of the Bhagavad Gita, the visual theology.
Uh, Thank you so much, Rajputji. In brief, you included many things. That's a great job. Uh, so thank you so much. There are some questions. With your permission, can we take them?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there are presently three questions. Do modern adaptations of Gita iconography still retain its theological essence, or do they lean more towards artistic abstraction?
Today's modern adaptation of Bhagavad Gita is in artistic forms. We cannot say that it's from the Bhagavad Gita, as there is no proof or no written evidences about that. And everything started from the Mughal period, and thereafter in Gupta period, we can see the Vishnu waves and everything. So these all the illustrations did by the artists, not from these are not coming from the Bhagavad Gita also.
Okay, thank you. There are two more questions by Manali. What role did patronage, such as that of kings, religious institutions, or colonial influence, play in shaping the visual theology of the Gita?
Yeah, this is the right thing. Here we can. I again wanna show you the page. This one. This is from Mughal period. As we can see here, the picture of the Lord Krishna and Arjuna on the chariot, shown in a plateau. It is on paper, and this is on right side, and there is sloka written in left hand side. After in Mughal period, after the Mughal period, in Rajput period, the artist started to draw the picture on one hand side on left, and right hand side they write the Bhagavad Gita as it is. So these are the small variation we can see. We can see that how it is developed in a form of art.
Okay, thank you. There is one more question by Manali. How do artists visually capture abstract idea like karma, bhakti, and moksha in the Gita? Could you share examples of particularly striking representations?
Yeah. Uh, Here it is. No, no, this is not. This is what you are asking, ma'am. So the Bhagavad Gita is for the everyone and every person. We when we are reading it, we can read the sloka like Arjun Uchav or Krishna Uchav or someone else. So the Bhagavad Gita is for everyone and everybody. Like there is a sloka yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavatu bharata. So it doesn't mean that the Krishna will or something that arise in India or in the form of Bharat in physical being. It is like uh, a philosophical thought or philosophical book that can everybody can read and everybody can be witness. And it is the artist and the painters are not thinking like that. They only did everything like uh, in a mindset that it is Krishna like or something, the war happens like it and the picture will be like it. And these all everything is only a depiction of what Bhagavad Gita or wanna say its philosophy. So I put it like this: artists had not mentioned it anywhere.
So much, Ashish.
I have a question. Uh, in South Indian temples, we rarely see the depiction of Vishwarupa Darshana, whereas we get to see the Vishwarupa Darshana iconographs in many of the northern temples, northern Indian temples. What may be the cause according to you?
Can you ask them your question again?
Yeah, sure. So the Vishwarupa Darshana iconography of Lord Krishna is not at all visible in the South Indian temples. It may be the Tamil Nadu temples, Kerala temples, or even the Karnataka temples. But majorly we get to see Vishwarupa Darshana iconographs in northern temples, North Indian temples. What may
Yeah,
be
yeah.
the cause for this, according to you?
There is no temple representing Vishwarup Darshan. After the ISKCON establishment, they call like Vishwarup Darshan or something like for the Krishna, but it is for the Vishnu. And Krishna was is the avatar of Vishnu, so they call that the Vishwarup Darshan is for Krishna, but it is for only for Vishnu. We can see that the Lord Prajapati Daksha have the. It is written in Puranas and scripts that Vishwarup Darshan about of Vishnu is not about the Krishna. I guess uh, I have not explanation for this why it is called Vishwarup Darshan for Krishna.
No, my question was why the depiction of that form of Vishnu is not found majorly in the South Indian temples. Uh, just
It may be
critical
because
event.
of the Lord Vishnu. There is in South India. We can see mostly the temples of Venkatraman on Vishnu Bhagwan, is Lord Vishnu, and in like the birthplace of or avatar place of Lord Krishna is Mathura in UP in northern India. Maybe it will be a reason, or it may be a reason for that.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
We also see very less number of Krishna temples in South India compared to Vishnu temples. So that could be one of the reasons.
True,
Historically,
very
yes.
yeah, very true. Because when I visited Udupi, uh, there are no iconographs of Vishwarupa Darshana, but other forms of Vishnu have been sculpted inside the temple separately as Dashavataras, but not the Vishwarupa Darshana. That made me think about this question. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nidhi. There are no other questions. So, yes, Sushila ma'am has joined us from USA, and I'm sure that more viewers will watch it after the end of the stream because usually after working hours are over, we have more viewers. So, if anybody watching later on has any questions, you can post it in the comment box, and we will get back to you with the answers. I now request our Honorary President Shri Nandan Shastri sir to propose the vote of thanks. Thank you, Ashish. It was a wonderful presentation, and we are very glad that you came to our platform. We need such young scholars. We need to build a community of such young scholars who are, into dissemination of ideas and knowledge. Thank you so much. Nandan sir, over to you.
Very excellent presentation, Ashish. And we are highly impressed by the illustrations, the PPTs which you showed to us. And Manali and I visited Bihar Museum in connection with 8th SOSA International Conference in the month of April 2024. And hopefully, when we will visit next time, we will look forward to meet you there personally. And I thank Manali for preparing a very nice invitation brochure and uh, welcoming Ashish ji. And I thank Nidhi to introduce him. And I thank the audience, especially Sushila ji, who has found time by different time zone of United States. So you are also welcome. And I thank the other audience also present to listen to Ashish ji. Thanks to everybody.
Thank you very much, sir, for proposing the vote of thanks. And we will surely come back with more such lectures and book reviews and panel discussions. But from here, I want to once again say this: the platform is open for young researchers to share your research, to share your book reviews, and so on. So, if anybody here in the audience is interested to share your research work with us, we are very happy to host you. You just have to contact me or Nadhi, or you can email us on our email ID, which is mentioned on all of our brochures. You can also message us on our social media platforms, and we will get back to you right away. Thank you so much. We are signing off here. See you all soon with something new.
Let me just announce our next lecture, which is going to be held on 24th.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So on 24th of this month, we have a lecture by Sneha Nagarkarji, who also was part of Gita lecture series. So please do join us. It is an archaeological exploration of Mathura region. So we will share the brochure, link, and everything in our platforms. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nadhi. Signing off here. See you all soon. Bye. Thank you, Ashish ji, once again.